People, welcome back to Politics Watch. This is Sir P. Now, today I'm going to talk about the politics of ghetto protesting. What exactly am I talking about? See, oftentimes when certain incidents happen, the people you see on the front line, I'm not just talking about the residents, I'm talking about the various human rights groups in Jamaica and all these, learned professionals you see on your TV screens telling you that this and that and, pouring out their hearts. I'm going to be honest with you right now. A lot of those people don't know how the streets work. I'm sorry, I'm sure some of them probably listening to this video right now. Yes, I understand. You've done every course you can do at UWI. You have 17 degrees. Yes, I get it. But I'm sorry, my years of watching and listening to a lot of you speak, it's clear to me that you do not understand how the streets work. And certain residents from certain communities spin you around like a gig. I get it. I mean, some of you probably have good intentions. I say some. Some of you are highly questionable. I don't know where you want to come from. All of a sudden, I run this group and I run that group. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you come from. I don't know why you're leading the forefront of this and that. I don't know if you have an agenda. As I said, you may have good intentions. Either way, I don't know and I don't care. Just letting it be known right now, protesting in the garrison is an art. And some residents, especially the kerosene oils of the community, have mastered it. Now, you heard this saying before, Jamaica is a very classy society. You've heard that. I wouldn't come in here and do a video telling you that. That's like telling you 2 + 2 = 4. But I'm going to break it down even further. I'm going to take it down a road you've probably never heard before. Check this. Yes, Jamaica is classes. However, that classism is not exclusive to uptown versus downtown. See, within uptown there is classism, and within downtown there's classism. Watch this now. See, I'm going to do a whole video on that separately. But right now, I'm going to focus on the protesting. Classism in the garrison. Listen to me right now. In a bad man place, in a ghetto, in a city, the way you want to call it, there are first and second class citizens. Yes. Who are the first class citizens? 90 octanes, 87 octanes, kerosene oils. Those are first class citizens in the garrison. That is why no matter how much money they make, they will never leave, because that is where they feel like a king. Now, understand this, people. There are second class citizens in the garrison. Who are these people? I'll give you an example of who these people are, because it's what enough people don't realize. Every type of people living at the ghetto, every profession, every trade. You have teachers living at the ghetto, nurses living at the ghetto. You have your taxi man, you have your plumber, you have your mason man, you have your contractor, you have your electrician, right? You have your engineer, every type of people, your policeman, your soldier, everybody living at the ghetto. But understand this. Watch this now. The reason why you think or you have the impression the ghetto people don't and ghetto people don't have sense is because whenever the TV cameras are on, the loudest LIQs run in front of the camera. Let me say that again. When the TV cameras come on, right? I'm telling you, they are professional protesters. When the TV cameras come on, they are the ones who are immediately thrust into the video light. And when them talk, it gives the appearance to ghetto people nonsense. This is false. A lot of educated people in the ghetto, a lot of intelligent people in the ghetto, but they are silent. They're silent, they're not a voice because they are second class citizens in the garrison. Come on. People just warm video they get at theater, warm out. See, law abiding, none a bad man link, just get up every day and go work and go about your business. People in the garrison are second class citizens. Don't worry, man. I'm going to show you how I get to it. I get to the protesting. Must build up. Don't worry on yourself. As a, people who now bust no gun, people who not related to the Dan, people who not have money here and so. People who wake up 5 o'clock and go work and coming back 8 o'clock are second class citizens. I say that to make this known. You see, when you see certain people lose their life at the hands of the police, and it instantly leads to protests and roadblock and road dig up and all tire bone and car bone up, that's because a first class citizen in the ghetto has lost their life. Listen, 90 octane, 87 octane, the kerosene oil. Anytime you see or hear say police go somewhere, go shoot somebody, and you immediately see the place get turned upside down, understand how one of them people they lose them life. Law abiding, regular people don't get protests in the garrison, especially when a gunman kill them. Now we get ready for talking. We get ready, video get warm up. I say, go and drink a tea and eat a crackers. We not go even state the obvious. Say when gunman kill people in the garrison, there's no protesting because that's obvious. We've seen that trend now, right? You see, people at Jamaica, criminals in the garrison have them team of protesters. When one of them link drop out, those protesters immediately go to work. And notice those protesters are mostly females. Mostly females. Tivoli start to come back to the mind, dress up in a white, hold up all kind of signs. But here's the thing. Enough of them people get knocked until we come out in the yard to protest. Oh yes. You see, we are talking things enough human rights group and enough people for you don't know. Because them read 2 books and and bleeding hearts and all that. We are tell you how the thing really work. When certain man dead in the garrison, man knock on them door and tell them, so yo, go to the road, go protest right now or else. Or else. So when you see certain people in the video jump up and we want, not for those people, them don't even want there. People at Jamaica, I'm being honest with you, they don't even want to be there. They don't even want to be there. You see the incident that going on in Waltham? People were spreading around this ridiculous story that this innocent man about him business and police say, oh, let me search your phone and him say no and police lick him down and kill him. And I say Jamaicans that believe that. I not even want to go into that story there yet. Because we are going about that's another day. Ridiculous. I couldn't believe people were believing it on social media. That's true. I mean, we have to be one of the most gullible societies in the world. I can't believe people are believing that story. This innocent man I walked on the road. Police say, yo, let me see your phone. Him say, no, I'm police shooting. We want justice, we want justice. People, we know what I'm going. I'm going to drop that video anyway. I'm going to drop it down the road. But back to the first class and second class citizens. You see, there is an agenda that is being pushed by criminals. And that agenda is to turn the nation against security forces and put enough pressure upon them where them ease up the pressure where them are put on criminals in a bad man place. Criminals want society to hate security forces. Criminals want Jamaicans to believe say JDF get up every day and just walk going to Augustown or lick down one innocent disabled woman. That is what they want to believe. But now, speaking about innocent disabled woman, let me briefly touch upon the Susan Bogle incident. Now that people from Augustown start reach out to me, law-abiding people from Augustown, them start reach out and tell me what go on. Now me have to start scratch my head. Because initially, remember, the people that make it sound like say, somebody just casually run going to the yard, and they say, where the man have in a yard, then they mention the machine the man have in a man or none. Then they mention to the JDF soldiers were actually in a situation where they had to act because it was imminent danger. Then they were mentioned that part there. Make it sound like some man just casually run going to my yard. And then they make it sound like the man then going there, go see Susan Bogle, lie down on her bed, and say, oh, look, here is this innocent disabled woman. Let's just start shoot her for no reason whatsoever. See, one of the residents claimed that there was one round, and then Susan Bogle ball out, and then there was a pause, and then there were 2 rounds afterwards. Now, when you hear that, you're thinking to yourself, okay, that is clearly some kind of execution. Because them shoot her one time, she ball out, pause, and go back and shoot two more. Then, come on, people, what else could that be? But that's not what happened, was it? See, this is how I know there was an agenda. This is how I know people were just trying to turn the hearts and the minds of the people against the security forces, and especially JDF, because the residents them reach out to me. And the residents them I tell me, say, listen, Sir P, how they make it sound is not how it went down. Right? See, first of all, the person who run going at the yard, who the man them going there for, it wasn't like say the man did us, as me say, casually run going in the yard and them could just make him go on. There was imminent danger at hand. Right? Now, Indicom has now come out and say, based on the rounds and them collects and ballistics, them don't even know if a JDF the round come from. Right? Now, it could still be. It could still be the fact say a JDF, and the fact say them say soldier even a cry. Right? That shows that maybe it's a very strong possibility that the round did come from JDF. However, the residents them say, listen, it can be anybody, because there was an exchange in the building. See, people conveniently left that out. When the residents them did I tell the story, when the professional team of mourners who were on hand did I tell the story, them forget to mention that party. Right? Then just make it sound like so the man them walk go in there, sit lady upon her bed and put 3 rounds in her. And that's not what was up. And did you notice immediately there wasn't a tire blocking and a road burning? People come on now, look at dark. Because all of a sudden them are going like the world them did love Susan Bogle. People, what am I just telling you about first and second class citizens in the garrison? Even in the garrison, classism exists. And Susan Bogle was clearly not a first class citizen in a for them eyes, because they made her tear up the place. If them did make Susan Bogle was a kerosene, make Susan Bogle was a 87, and JDF shoot her, even by accident the place would have turned upside down. Tire would have born the road in the block. None of that never go on instantly. Do you see where I'm coming from? We have first and second class citizens. Now that the lady gone, all of them are going like say, then the business and them care about. Come on, stop acting, please. So, I realize that people are milk the situation. I hope the lady get justice. However, what I saw was one of the most extraordinary group reaction from high-ranking officials I've ever seen, at least in a good while. I saw the police commissioner of it. I saw multiple senior ranking members of the JDF. I saw at least one lieutenant colonel. The prime minister himself turned up. Indicom take out the man name rifle, put them off duty, and investigate. What people mean by sign petition for justice. The investigation is taking place. This is how I know people have an agenda, because that is not logical. It's not like so the woman pass away and them kiss them teeth and say, I saw it go. We not have no investigation. What do you want? The investigation is taking place and people are going like, as me say, now we are get to understand more and more. Say there was some kind of exchange between JDF and the man them, right? Now if it come out down the road, say listen, the rounds that took Susan Bogle life didn't even come from a JDF rifle. Then people are going to say, oh well, I cover up and I lie them and tell because people want hear what them want hear. Right? That is what I get to realize now. I'm going to be honest right now. This is going to probably annoy some people and hurt some people's feelings, but you know my style already. One of the reasons why people react like that to the whole Susan Bogle thing is because it happened shortly after the George situation in America where the policeman kneel on the man neck. People were saying, we couldn't believe people were trying to equate what happened in America with the police kneeling on the man neck for about 9 minutes with what happened to Susan Bogle. This is how I know people are trolling. This is how I know people are just trying to get attention and are trying to get likes. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious in telling me that you see any kind of equivalency between JDF and a man, an alleged gunman. Them a chase it, one a chase the other, exchange go on, and an innocent woman lose her life. 2. Police in America kneel on a man for 9 minutes straight till him breaks. You people can't be serious. You cannot be serious, right? I listen. When I saw people saying yes, are the same way, what did I tell you about these false equivalences? Jamaica is obsessed with false equivalence. The two of them, they are not the same. Susan Bogle lost her life in a very, very unfortunate situation, and yes, investigations must be done and something must come out of it, but it is ridiculous to act like say that was some kind of case of yes, see what I talk about how them do a kill get the people. This is how people were wording it and pushing that ridiculous narrative, right? I'm telling you people, I couldn't believe what I was seeing online, right? But either way, again, there was no tire burning and there was no car burning. So the next time you hear any kind of protest go on, right, members of the security forces take somebody's life or injure somebody and you see any kind of protesting go on, just know say we are talking about first class citizens, right? We can point to many examples of security forces taking people's life and we not see no reaction from the residents them. All we hear are just some posts on social media, and then the next time somebody get taken out and immediately car burn up and fling in a road, right? People, we're talking about internal ghetto classism, right? Now, as I said, I'm going to do a video on classism itself in Jamaica, right, and break it down completely for people, because even that, people oversimplify everything, right? But don't worry, I'm going to break it down for you, right, and show you this thing go much deeper than you hear on a day-to-day basis. So Patreon squad, big up on yourself. Please like, comment, and share the video. Bless.